If you've known me for a while, you may know I don't like scary horror games. They are hard for me to play and also just creepy, okay? But there was something about the Callisto Protocol that intrigued me. And when AMD Gaming reached out saying, hey, you want to try this? I reluctantly said yes. But honestly, I'm glad I did because I was surprised at what accessibility is available in the game. Let me explain. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, an accessibility advocate and consultant in the video game industry, and I'm also blind. If you're wondering how I can play video games if I'm blind, if you check out the video here or click the link in the description down below, you can be able to see exactly what I see when I'm playing video games. While you're down there, click the like and subscribe button to help keep this channel growing. I try to release videos regularly, and every little click counts. So in this video, I'm going to give my very quick first impressions of the game. Now, I've only had 1 hour of gameplay time with this, so this is not a full review of what the game has in regards to accessibility, but I do have some thoughts so far. Also, I should mention that if you want to see me play that first hour, you can check out my gameplay video here or in the description down below, so you can see exactly how many times and when I almost crapped my pants. Okay. I was legitimately surprised by what accessibility is available in the game. My expectations actually were honestly low because horror games don't typically have a lot of accessibility available. But upon first boot up of the game, there are some options I wanted to highlight. First up is Subtitles. It has a variety of options, including font color, speaker tags and color, background opacity, and actually a dyslexic font option, plus a text size slider from 0 to 100. There is sadly no full captions option, and there are moments when you actually do hear very creepy noises, and they are not captioned or highlighted, unfortunately. Another cool feature I was surprised by was high contrast mode. I was not expecting this at all. But what's great is actually you can change the colors of friends and allies, enemies, and things you can interact with. It's interesting what they actually highlight is interactable objects though, because there are a few times you go up to a door or an object on the ground and it's highlighted, but you can't interact with them at all. There is potentially mechanics later on that you can be able to use those objects by throwing stuff around, but I haven't got to that point yet. What I also found great is the health bar that's on the back of your neck that stands out so you can tell how much health you have left even with high contrast mode turned on. There's no need to know what color it is. The lower the bars, the less health you have. Also, there was a moment where I had to sneak past a security robot and you have to avoid their gaze, otherwise you're going to get caught and killed. Even with the high contrast mode, you can see the light cone that indicates where the robot is looking, so you can tell when to move. That was a really nice touch, and you can tell that was part of the design when they added high contrast mode. Very well done. There's full remapping on mouse and keyboard, but not for controller. You can choose left or right hand controls for the controller, but that's about it. But one interesting control that I think can actually be a really cool accessibility feature, and that's the dodging combat mechanic. As this game has a lot of melee combat, you will need to dodge attacks, and believe me, you'll have a hard time if you don't dodge. You can't just button mash your attack button because there are going to be times that you're going to get hit, and they take a lot of damage. But in most games with a dodge mechanic, you have to actually hit a button at a specific time in order to successfully avoid an attack. But in this game, there is zero dodge timing. No, seriously, you don't need to worry about that. It has what's been described in reviews as kind of like a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out approach, where you can dodge using the thumbsticks either left or right. Now, when I first encountered combat, I thought you had to time the correct dodge to the correct movement. If the enemy attacks you left, you dodge right, and vice versa. But in this, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you hold the thumbstick in either direction, you'll automatically dodge whenever the enemy attacks. But where the challenge is that you can't just hold one direction the whole time. After each successful dodge, you have to switch directions. It took me a few tries to be able to get it right, but honestly, it was an interesting way to not have to worry about precise timing, and I'm curious to see how this mechanic holds over the course of the game. My only gripe is that the tutorial on how this dodge mechanic works only happens after your first combat encounter. I would have liked to be able to see that before I died several times trying to figure out how the dodge mechanic works, but I hope maybe that could be something that could be added on later. There is also a tutorials option in the menus that when you first boot up the game, you could go there to be able to check out how the dodge works, but within the game, it would have been nice to be able to see that beforehand. I'm also curious to see actually how disabled players find this feature and what could be improved, because I think this could be a welcome feature in a lot of games after disabled players' feedback. And this can not only benefit those with motor disabilities, but potentially blind, deaf and hard of hearing, and cognitive disabilities could benefit from this mechanic. There is also aim assist features in the options menu, and I know at some point you will unlock the ability to use guns, and I also know that there is a type of glove that can telekinetically throw enemies around, but I also haven't gotten that far yet to know how well those options work. There are also skills you can unlock at some point to improve weapons and gear, so there may be potential neat features that unfortunately are locked to a skill tree, but I'll have to wait and see. Overall, my first impressions of this game are actually good so far. This may be one of those horror games I may need to make sure I have multiple pairs of pants at the ready to play, but from the accessibility alone, it might be worth it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to Striking Distance and AMD Gaming for sending over a copy of this game. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And also, while you're down there, click the subscribe button because it would really help out this channel grow. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. As always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.